Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here. We're restarting for the YouTube audience because for some reason, YouTube just never wants to work correctly anymore. I don't understand what's going on there, but that's fine. We're doing it live. Here we are, and the warmonger behind me is warmongering. And finally, Tulsi is going hard in the paint. This is why she's so important. Despite the fact she got less than 9 minutes in a 3-hour debate, and in my opinion, probably had her worst showing yet. She was heads and shoulders above the other candidates, and the polls showed so, okay? And the search engine results afterwards showed so, despite the war machine that attacks her, the mainstream media that attacks her, CNN, New York Times, Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton is pulling out the Russia propaganda on Tulsi Gabbard, and thank God she's fighting back. Tulsi, listen to me. It's time to go 100%. Go after her. Go after all of them. Go after Joe Biden and his connections to the Pakistani ISI money man on 9/11. Go after the witch behind me because she is pulling no punches and she is outwardly lying about you. Hillary Clinton appeared to suggest Tulsi Gabbard was being groomed by Russians to be a third-party spoiler in the 2020 election. She's never talked about running third party, not once. An accusation that led Gabbard to call her the queen of warmongers, and an embodiment of corruption, and the personification of the rot that has sickened the Democratic Party. You don't have to love her. You don't have to love that she's CFR, okay? You don't have to love everything about her. I get it. But Hillary Clinton is the embodiment of establishment trash that wants to see your brothers and sisters fighting wars of aggression in the name of globalism, in the name of profiteering, and in the name of corruption. That's all she's about. Clinton, who lost the 2016 election in part because of Russian interference, totally lying. It had not. Let's stop fucking lying about Russia, everybody. Who is this? Emily Gooden? Emily Gooden, let's stop being dishonest. You know, people should tweet at her. What are you talking about? The Russian interference was disproven. The best you had were some ads that nobody saw. You're a joke. You're a farce. You're fake fucking news. I'm not making any predictions. But I think they got their eye on somebody who is currently in the Democratic primary and are grooming to be the third-party candidate. She's the favorite of the Russians. She didn't mention her by name, but we all know who you're talking about. They have a bunch of sites and bots and other ways of supporting her so far. Totally made up. Totally made up. Look at that face. And by God, if I had the opportunity to stand before that monster and ask a real question, I'd ask her, how does it feel to be a cunt warmonger who smears real veterans who no longer want to see our brothers and sisters die in your wars of aggression and lies? That's what I'd like to ask her. What do you think? It's now clear that this primary is between you and me. Don't cowardly hide behind your proxies. Join the race directly, Gabbard wrote on Twitter. Damn right. She knows. She knows why she's being targeted. Look, Joey B is not electable, all right? Let's read them word for word. Because Joey Biden isn't electable. They try to put Grandma Oatmeal up there. Elizabeth, by golly, Warren for president. No one's fucking voting for her, okay? That's imagination land. No one is voting Elizabeth Warren. Nobody is voting Pete Bootlicker. None of those establishment candidates. Really, Bernie Sanders is the only establishment guy that has a base, and it's not a big one. And he showed his true colors when he beat Hillary Clinton in 2016 and didn't stand up to her. Instead, he just took the hush money and shut up. It's sick. It's gross. All right? He's not a real candidate. He refuses to talk about Julian Assange when asked. We got to play that video. By the way, the other establishment woman up there, not only Kamala Harris, but Amy Knobler, She was asked about Assange. All of them ducked the question. Know who doesn't duck the question? Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard says, no, we'll bring all those charges away. We'll exonerate him. He's a hero. Snowden's a hero. Okay? We deserve to know about this. Total blackout in the U.S. media, how Australian ex-deputy prime ministers and other members of parliament are demanding that Assange not be extradited. Most people don't know that Assange is going to be showing up in court on Monday, in person for the first time in a long time. He shouldn't even be in jail. He served his sentence. Doesn't matter. That's not how the world works. When you got warmongers like Hillary Clinton warmongering, she won't even tell you who the real biological father of her daughter is, who is clearly Webb Hubble. Yeah, that's right. Bill Clinton wasn't the only one cheating, guys. Hillary Clinton was cheating. That ain't Bill's daughter. And everybody knows it. Great. Thank you, Hillary Clinton. You, the queen of warmongers, embodiment of corruption, and personification of the rot that has sickened the Democratic Party for so long, have finally come out behind the curtain. From the day I announced my candidacy, there has been a concerted campaign to destroy my reputation. We wondered who was behind it and why. Now we know. It was you, through your proxies and powerful allies in the corporate media and war machine, afraid of the threat I pose. It's now clear that this primary is between you and me. Don't cowardly hide behind your proxies. Join the race directly. Man, I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay? So if you look right down here, I love it. None of the other women have been accused of Russia ties. There are no Russia ties. What in the world are you talking about? Like, that is the new smear. Like, Russia, Russia, Russia. Guys, is Russia coming into your bed at night? Is it the boogeyman? Is it going to take everything away? If the nesting doll fits, Clinton spokesman Nick Merrill told reporters when asked if the former Secretary of State meant Gabbard in her interview. And he responded to Gabbard's tweet storm with a slam of her relationship to Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad, somebody who was elected, a secular leader, somebody most of the people in Syria want in charge. Okay? I'm not saying he's the greatest thing ever. I'm not saying he's the best thing since breakfast. I'm not saying he's totally innocent. But I will say this. He didn't gas his own people. We know that attack in Duma was completely false. Won't report on it in the United States. Won't talk about the leaked OPCW report. That's the next thing you need to do, Gabbard. Tulsi, listen to me. You need to directly point out the leaked OPCW report that the attacks in Duma that were supposedly him gassing his own people were completely staged. Okay? Assad day for your candidacy, he wrote. In Tuesday's fourth Democratic debate in Ohio, the Democratic from Hawaii said that her claim that she was a Russian asset are completely despicable, because they are. And by the way, Tulsi was doing a workout session with the new champ Maywen Lee of the UFC. You know, they don't want her to get popular. They know that a lot of people want this woman, okay? Just 2 days ago, the New York Times put out an article saying that I'm a Russian asset and that Assad apologist, and all these different smears, she said during the debate. This morning, a CNN commentator said on the national television that I'm an asset of Russia. Completely despicable. And it is. As president, I will end these regime change wars, and they are scared to death of that. So once again, Hillary Clinton showing her true establishment colors. Again, I don't know who's electable up there other than Tulsi Gabbard. Grandma Oatmeal ain't it. Elizabeth By Golly Warren ain't it. Bernie Sanders ain't it. Joey B ain't it. Cory Booker can't sell him. Can't sell Kamala. You got nothing. Castro, most people don't even know that guy's running. So guys, again, I'm not trying to make this about partisan politics. It's not a left-right issue. This is truly an issue where you have an establishment warmongering piece of shit trying to completely lie about somebody that poses just the slightest bit of a threat to the establishment. And if you agree with me on that, folks, please, please, please consider thumbing this video up, joining the Burmese Brigade, okay? Becoming a subscriber. We're doing it 3 to 7 times a day on subjects that matter, sharing this on social media. And I I'm a documentary filmmaker. They're all here for free. Loose Change Final Cut, Fabled Enemies, Invisible Empire and New World Order Defined, and Shade the Motion Picture. All here, all free. If you like my work, because I give it all away for free, please consider donating to the GoFundMe. We have gained some ground, but really I should be about $2,800 if I want to hit that $5,000 goal on the 18th. But we're going to push forward. And I'm kind of thankful for this because this shows her true colors. Nick Waits says the gloves are off. Don't have to agree with everything she says. Someone who speaks openly about so much about factual history everyone else ignores is a welcome breath of fresh air. Plus, she's not 90. And you know what? She even defended old people up there when they asked about their health. And she said, well, why aren't you asking about my health? Hey, Elijah Cummins, he just died at 68. I'm 40 years old. I got to tell you, I don't feel like I should be going in less than 30 years. I feel like strong like a bull. Okay? And I want to continue to do so. But you never know when your last day is. And you would hope somebody like Hillary Clinton's last days would be coming sooner or later, but it just seems like evil lasts forever, guys. That being said, I love you. It's not about left or right. It's always about right and wrong, and I'll see you on the flip. Thank you again, Nick.